Hey everybody, this is Grace. Welcome to my channel. Um, I hope some people can join me tonight because I'm not 100% sure, but um, I think I think I might make this my last video because and it's not because that I'm just not interested in the Watts case anymore. I am 100%. Yeah, like I started this thing when it happened, I'm sticking with it. Or should I say I'm sticking with AD. Um, it's weird. I I am always on his channel every night like clockwork. And I don't say anything at all on there because I'm afraid that somebody will think it's stupid or see. I wasn't the reason I got on this channel. Well, the reason I started this channel is because I felt, I guess I felt weird, talking to people who were a lot more experienced in the YouTube um channel stuff, the like I couldn't do half of the stuff that AD does on his channel because not only do I not have the subs for it, and I'm not here for the subs. I just basically like coming on here and talking about the Watts case. Um, I'm definitely not here to bash Shanann because I'm all for Shanann because Shanann didn't do anything wrong. And, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out because we all know that NK was giving Chris these drinks every night. Like in the when he wasn't with his family for 5 weeks, when he was staying over there every night. And so I was always wondering, like, what did she put in those drinks to make him, pass out and then wake back up and then, do this throughout the night. And, what made his mood change all of a sudden. And, just a lot of stuff. So I actually just got done looking this up because uh, we all know that he was part of obviously I'm guessing it was Titanic one. That's my guess. My opinion. Same thing. But I did find because I put basically what I typed in was like what drugs will satanic cults use on their victims. Um and I put down, um a few of the symptoms that not only did I basically get from NK's interview with the cops because she was saying how he would, fall in and out of sleep, but also from Shanann, from her text that she was sending back and forth to her friends saying, I don't know what happened. He wasn't like this when I left. You know, it's like he's completely different. Um so um I found one. Now, I don't know if this is it. I could be so off on this, but I wanted to try to figure out what it was. So, let me know what you guys think. Either in the comments or in chat. Um yeah, just let me know your guys' opinion, what you guys think. It's called The Twilight Zone. And it is basically what it says about the Twilight Zone is imagine being stuck in that moment of half dream, half reality. Like remember when Chris was saying when he was doing his TV thing where he was pleading for his family's safe return and everything. Like he kept saying like I feel like it's a dream, like something. But anyways, this Twilight Zone, that's what it's called. Okay, imagine being stuck in that moment of half dream, half reality. You feel right as you wake up and right as you fall asleep. Now imagine the the use somebody like the CIA could get from trapping you in that state. This is known as the Twilight Zone. Tech the Twilight Zone technique. And interrogators pump one arm full of a barbiturate and the other full of a stimulant, such as an amphetamine, looking one's psyche into a locking one's psyche into a brain-breaking cycle of waking dreams. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, I could be way off. I really could. But I figured, you know what? What can it hurt? Even if I'm wrong, oh well. But honestly, whatever she was putting in his drink, um, it would have still been in his system. Even when um even when she came in, when NK came in and was telling them everything like that, for one, there's a lot of things. Like, I've seen, I watch murder documentaries all the time. I've watched real life stories that, like, it's like a reenactment of, like, actors, but it did really happen in real life type thing. Um, and usually, you know, it's a normal thing to get done when you go to jail because you see a doctor, especially with, murder investigations. You'll see a doctor in the jail. They'll see if there's any drugs in your system. Stuff like there's so many things that went wrong in this case. And honestly, Alan, the armchair detective, he hasn't been wrong yet. And I really it's like I said, I've seen a lot of creators. And most of them do the whole panel thing. But I don't know, as many people as AD has brought on his show, and these are like police officers, ex-police officers, private everybody. Not only that, but he is in direct contact with Chris Watts. He has proven it time and time again, and I know there are creators out there that like to try to debunk him, but you can't because he's not making crap up. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel really bad for him because all he's trying to do is get justice for Shanann and those kids. And yeah, Chris is in jail. That's all well and good. Yes, he belongs there. What about the actual murderer? Who murdered those three? Because I'm telling you, I'm sorry, it makes no sense. I mean, sitting there saying, oh, he put him in the back of his truck and drove him to work. What if he got stopped by the cops? What if he got pulled over? Anything can happen. And something that was supposedly planned for a while, I really don't think it was his idea. You would think that they'd be like, oh no, I don't know. It was just, they weren't in the truck. There was nobody dead in the truck. Nobody died in the house. Like, I mean, they had sniffer dogs there, and they don't lie. And the trauma dog, oh my gosh. And what sucks the most, and what's been eating at me, is yes, Chris did tell a lot of truths. He told more lies than truths, but he did let some stuff out. I don't think he could remember. I think it was traumatizing. Now after a couple months after this, I don't know. It was like 4 or 5 months after the murders had taken place. I don't know. I had this weird thought in my head that maybe and I know that I've said this in other vehicles, but in other videos, but I do think that not just Shanann and the kids, I think that whole family, including Chris, was targeted. And NK was the puppet master. And I but no, in the TV interview that in the TV interview that Chris gave um on the 14th, he's like, maybe they're somewhere safe and they're like there. So like if they're safe, then they're coming home. But if they're not safe, then something needs to happen. Okay. For the life of me, that for the longest time that didn't make any sense to me. It really didn't. Like, if they're safe, and they're somewhere and they're just like there. But if they're not safe and something needs to happen, you need to find them. But when the dogs came out on the 14th, Jane's dog, she barked at one of those new homes. She caught the scent at one of the new homes that they were building. Shanann's scent. And it was right at the house. Now, please, can somebody please explain to me? Okay, we have so far, right now, all anybody knows is that they're missing. I'm sorry, but if somebody's missing and the dog's getting a hit from a house that's right around the corner, I think I'd be checking that house. And there was a cop right there. And Jane's telling, the police officer, yeah, my boss is telling me the dog's picking up, Shanann's scent at that house. And the cop's just like, oh, really? You would have thought she would have been like, oh, okay, well, let's go check. I mean, who knows? I mean, okay, I'm sorry, but there's always a chance, right? But maybe they could have been saved. Maybe they would have been at that safe house. Nobody knows because nobody checked. And I mean, even though they had the right guy, Chris, they still had tunnel vision because they didn't want to have to, I don't know. They weren't hearing of any other suspects. They weren't. They had Chris, that's all they cared about. There's only one problem with that. You would have thought all these red flags that Chris is throwing up there, that this would have been the biggest, that he was not on his own. For one, he did not know how either of the kids died. First he said they were smothered. Then he said that they were strangled. And I don't think he didn't know because he didn't do it. And Shanann didn't do it, obviously. And then, they showed him a picture of his work site. He didn't even know where they were buried. He had to actually look at it for a minute or two. And then he's like, when was this taken? They're like, today. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And there's so many things that the cops just, either weren't using their heads about, or they just didn't care. If Shanann and the girls were taken out there Monday morning, then okay, so it rained on, I believe it rained on Tuesday. Yeah, it rained on Tuesday. So anything like any tire marks, footprints, anything like that would have been washed away, right? There were fresh tire marks. Not where Chris was parked that Monday morning, but closer to where like Shanann's body was, like closer that way. So the cops were out there. You can't say that they didn't see that. And so that's another, now that I think of it, that's another red flag. I mean, he's sitting there saying, I mean, he's still sitting there saying, even when they went back out, when they went to Wisconsin to ask him about the shadow that Edie found. He's like, yeah, I took the kids with me, da 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 da. Because he thinks, actually, no, he don't think. He doesn't know when they were put out there. So he's going with what they told him to say. But wait, and all along, you got NK in the interview room throwing him under the bus completely, trying to distance herself away from it. And another thing, that was a huge red flag on her part. So, she was talking about the girls because, the detective, he's like, so, say he would have just gotten a divorce or just got separated, whatever, you know, how would have things worked out with you two? And she's like, well, we would have probably took things slow, seen how things, worked out like that, and, I can teach the girls about, pottery or, no, planting flowers. That's right. Actually, getting a flower pot, planting flower, everything like that, decorating them, stuff like that. Well, in Shanann's, in her office, her closet, there was this, out of the blue, random, little flower pot on this shelf where her purses were hanging, and it was all decorated. And then I went back and listened to that part again on the interview just to see if I heard it right. And then I rewatched the video to see if I saw what I saw, because I was like, wait a second, that's a coincidence. So, and not only that, but like when she brought her dad in to the interview, the one she went to before she went by herself, but she's sitting there and she's like kind of tripping over herself. She's like making these tiny slip ups, it seems like, and she's like catching herself, and it's like the detective is like sensing something. I'm not really sure, but he starts giving NK this scenario about, well, he could have told you that something about, and what if there was no baby or something like that? And her dad, like, just cuts him off out of nowhere and, like, calls him by his actual name. Not detective or whatever, just calls him by his name. It's like, Nick? And it's like, oh my gosh. But it's weird because I think the reason why Ronnie hasn't been able to get Chris's cell phone yet is because Chris never deleted his texts like NK told him to. He kept all of them. So she might have deleted them from her phone, but he still had all of them on his. So what I'm wondering is what is on that cell phone? And crap, there was something else I wanted to say too. I'm sorry, I am gonna be forthcoming about something because I'm going to explain this real quick, because if I don't, you're probably gonna think that I'm just an idiot who just can't remember anything. My MS is progressing. So my memory loss is a lot worse. So I'm sorry if I should happen to repeat myself or anything like that. I thought I'd give you guys a heads up. Anyways, oh crap. Now I forgot again. I'm sorry. Now I know why you guys don't like watching me. Anybody who's actually watching, can you possibly help me out and jot down in chat real quick what I was just saying? Because I really did forget. I'll try to, hold on a second. I'll try to, I can't think of it. Anyways, I'm gonna be kind of skipping around since my memory is like really crappy tonight. So now I know that people have been questioning the red car, saying that it was a tail light or something like that or something. Okay, so now I've watched these videos over and over and over and over and over again until I gave myself a migraine. That's definitely a red car. I mean, you can clearly see it. I mean, even if you were to type in Nate's CCTV footage from the Watts house and put down August 13th, 2018. And you can watch it. You can clearly see the red car. I'm not even joking. All you gotta do is type it in and watch that video again. But you can see it. And you don't have to go on anybody's channel to see it. Like I said, all you gotta do is type in Nate CCTV footage for August 13th, 2018 of the Watts house. And actually watch it, and you can see the red car clear as day. I'm not even joking. And you can see, like, okay, I know my memory sucks, but my vision is 2020. You can see when, okay, it's, you know how 80 tells you about that 3-card trick? How it's literally done and like that. This is how quick this happened. Like, almost so fast that I barely even saw anything. But I did. Okay, you can't see who. Okay, but you see. I'm sorry, but I know it's okay. You see her coming out. But as she's doing it, there's you see, like, on the other, like, side, like, towards where, like, the front door would be, you see you see, like, it's like, a silhouette of another person going to the vehicle, the red car. Um, and, it's there, and it's clear as day. Like, sometimes you do gotta watch it a couple times, but, um but it is there. And, but like I said, it's that quick. Everything was, like, timed out perfectly, like, even down to the second. And, I just oh, I do remember one thing that I wanted to tell you guys. I don't know what video that I did that I mentioned this on, but I do remember talking about this because I really wasn't sure what I was looking at. I mean, I knew what I was looking at, but I wasn't like 100%. But everybody has seen the doorbell cam where we all see Shanann walking up to her home for the last time. Now, she is like staring at her phone like it's the most important thing in her life, and she can't keep her eyes off of it. And I knew it was the baby monitor because the blue. Not only that, but you can like kind of see it flip. But I know why she was looking at us so hard. In Cece's room, Cece wasn't in her bed. That is why she was staring at her phone. Because she's probably thinking, why isn't my daughter in bed? She's always sleeping. Like, why is she awake? And, um, it's just, honestly, I'm a mother, so I guess if I had to put myself in her shoes, even if I saw somebody I didn't know inside my daughter's room doing something to hurt her, I don't care if I was 13 weeks pregnant, I'd be walking into that house too. So, I just think that she thought that something was wrong. You figure the lights in the house are off, but your daughter isn't in bed. Now, we do see, um, because you can clearly see a child running up to Chris. Don't know which one. I know some people thought that maybe it was Bella because I know in the beginning a lot of people thought, like, before we knew that that nobody died in the house, like, a lot of people thought that had to been Bella because, Cece was probably dead. They probably put her in the freezer down the basement. So, it like wouldn't stink up the place or anything like that. But the the caliber dogs, the dogs that can smell death. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the name, but the dogs, they say otherwise, and they were taken around the freezer in the basement, everything. Nobody died in the house. And I just think it's kind of funny how so at first, because we'd seen the pictures of Chris and NK at Sand Dunes. Now, both of them claim supposedly that they were supposedly there by themselves. Okay, well, who was taking the pictures? Because usually you can tell when someone's taking a selfie, even if it's with somebody else, you can usually tell. And you can also tell when somebody is standing getting their picture taken, when when somebody else is taking it, not you taking a selfie. And you can clearly see that somebody else is taking the pictures. Well, finally, the detective asks NK, who's this who's this guy? Who's this guy with like a beard? Cause we know it ain't Chris. And she's like, yeah, that's my friend Jim. Now, she don't mind talking to him. But I think it's a little ironic that every time that NK would get off the phone with Chris, she would call Jim. Or every time she would get off the phone with Jim, she would call Chris. It was like that for, oh my gosh, weeks. And now supposedly, so now Chris had given AD a whole bunch of numbers. We were trying to figure them out. And Chris finally told AD what they all meant. So, okay, hold on a second. Now let me remember all the dates. I think the first one was August of 2017. And Chris said Chris either said that it was either that's when they started dating or met at the gym, or it was when they had their first kiss. I think it was when they had their first kiss, to be perfectly honest. And then he gave him a number 12. We were trying to figure that out. Well, according to Chris, there's 12 people involved in this murder. 12 people. 4 that was in the house. 12. And he gave the number 44. Apparently that was NK's favorite number. And there was another one, I think. Yeah, there was another one. I don't remember what that number was. But, I, and the intimidation thing that NK pulled at the courthouse in November when he, did that plea deal, for her to be sitting right outside just so she wanted to make sure that he saw her right when he came out to basically say, yeah, got ya. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that she just happened to get a job at Anadarko. No. I think that she needed to pull him in and pull him in fast. So I think she did what she needed to do to get a job there. Who knows? Maybe she used her body. Maybe her daddy helped her out. Who knows? But somehow she got that job, and I don't think it's a coincidence how she ended up right where he worked because they were already dating. That came out of Chris's mouth. So what I'm wondering is this whole 6 week thing. I'm starting to wonder. That's not when they met, but if that is when they started planning it, or when they actually started more like drilling it into Chris's head. This is what needs to be done if you want to be with me. Because I want to give you your first kid, you know, and well, your first son and everything like that. And it's weird. It's not like she said, "Oh, well, I wanted to give you your first child." Or she didn't say, "I want to have a child with you." Specific words. She wanted to give him his first son. She knew that Shania was pregnant. She knew. Not only from her stalking her on Facebook, but she specifically said she wanted to be the one that gave Chris his first son. Nobody else. Her. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if they said that they were just gonna freaking kidnap them and um I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they freaking told him. I have no idea. But they had something planned. Um And I do believe that she pussied out and let him take the fall once they couldn't get Shanann's phone open. Because I do think that she thought that something was wrong, something was off, and I think that that is why she changed her passcode on her phone. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, and some people's opinions might, support other people's, and some might. You never know. Um, and I do want to apologize for whoever is watching me tonight, and who has ever watched any of my other videos. I do apologize because I know I'm not as good as basically any other creator. Oh my gosh, my son has a YouTube account and he's better than I am. But I also didn't start this to be liked or to get a whole bunch of subscribers or, you know, I mean, I don't want to be an internet sleuth or whatever. I feel really bad for the Russo family because even though Chris is in jail, there are more people out there. And even if he didn't kill them, he does belong in jail because he knew that they were going to do something terrible to his family. He didn't do nothing to stop it. And that the real murderer, the one who murdered those two beautiful baby girls and that wonderful mother who was pregnant, they need to be in jail too. They 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 really do. I mean, this it's not right. And it's not justice either. It's like saying it's like giving three people a pass on murder. Oh, we got one, so okay, let me ask you this. 4 people have planned to rob a bank. Okay? 2 people go in. One person is the getaway, another third person is the getaway driver, and there's a fourth person on the corner, say, just keeping an eye out for cops driving by, anything like that. So there's 4 people. Well, the alarm goes off because the banker just hit the silent alarm. So the cops show up. The getaway driver and the person on the corner, they took off. The cops see him take off. But they go in the bank. They see one of the other bank robbers take out the back door. But they caught one of them. and said, "Oh, we got one. We're good." Is that justice? Really? Because you're leaving the other three to have that chance to go out and rob a bank again. So, okay, I'm just gonna say, out of the four people in that house, one's in jail, the other three, who knows? Heard the NK is still in Colorado, but I don't think anybody really knows for sure. And, yeah, people are getting tired of hearing me. Okie dokie. So, well, as much as I love talking Caitlin myself, well, I'm gonna go. So, have a good night.